Call the regular session meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Romanek?
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Here.
Commissioner Sui?
Here.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Here.
Commissioner Cospin?
Here.
May I please have Reverend Jonathan Merkey come to the podium, followed by a salute to the flag. May we please rise.
Last Thursday morning, it was my honor and privilege to stand shoulder to shoulder with Millville's finest and with the first responders and from other departments as well, for a city that responded to a tragedy that is beyond understanding. And I want to salute our first responders in Millville for the good work that they did. I'm grateful to be a part of this journey. And I wonder if we could just take a few moments in light of that tragedy, just to take silence to pray, or however you would lift up those families that lost loved ones and lost all they had. Thank you, God, that this season is a reminder of the hope that we have. Thank you that in the midst of such great tragedy, our community has come together powerfully. May that be the spirit with which we live and serve those around us. Thank you for tonight. I pray for your guidance and wisdom on our commissioners, on our mayor, and I ask, God, that you would lead us forward by your grace in all things. May this be a season of hope and life and love because of your presence and grace, for we ask it in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975. Was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor. We have an addition of Resolution 13, authorizing the introduction of the calendar year 2025 municipal budget. We have an additional resolution, item number 14, certifying that the City of Millville's hiring practices comply with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We have an additional resolution, item number 15, approving shared services agreement between the County of Cumberland and the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office in the City of Millville for the provision of public safety services. And we also added a new business item for the sunrise service on Sunday, sponsored by the First United Methodist Church at Corson Park.
Thank you. Presentations.
You're good. All right, tonight we have a presentation promoting Sergeant Jason Vinzinski to the rank of lieutenant. Recently, the police department was able to change the city ordinance to allow for additional lieutenant. That'll give us additional supervision in our patrol division and a better use of our personnel. So with that, I will read a brief bio for Sergeant Vinzinski. Promoted to the rank of lieutenant. Lieutenant Vinzinski was hired by the Millville Police Department in September of 2005 and graduated from the Cape May County Police Academy, where he was assigned to the Patrol Division. Lieutenant Vinzinski was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2016, and he has supervised the department's Patrol Division, Neighborhood Crime Prevention Unit, and the Detective Division. Prior to his promotion, Vinzinski was assigned to the FBI Safe Streets Task Force. Throughout his career, Lieutenant Vinzinski has received multiple awards and commendations in recognition of his hard work and dedication to the department. I look forward to seeing him serve as our next patrol lieutenant. And with that, do your oath.
I, state your name,
I, Jason Vinzinski,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and the governments
to the same and the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and
impartially,
justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of Police Lieutenant
and perform all the duties of the office of Police Lieutenant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Oh, sorry.
You want me to sign?
Thanks.
I'll be short like always. Welcome. There's your guys. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Victory. Hooray.
We're good. All the way down.
Stop.
Bills, please.
Make a motion to pay bills.
Second motion.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes. Petitions and letters.
We have a motion to receive and file a letter from Ricardo Lim resigning from the zoning board.
Make that motion, please.
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes. Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to send my deepest condolences on behalf of the city and all the public safety team to the victims of the fire. Those who lost their homes, their pets and families and friends of the two young girls who lost their lives in this tragic fire. The community's response to come together has been inspiring, and I am glad to see some of the public here today. The tragic events remain under investigation, and I am unable to release any further information. I appreciate the public's understanding and patience. I would like to thank the following departments and agencies that were on scene during this incident: Millville Fire Department, Millville Police Department, Millville EMS, Millville OEM Team, Millville Police Department chaplains, City of Millville Water, Streets and Roads and Parks and Recreation Departments. The following outside departments: fire departments, Vineland, Cedarville, Bridgeton, Cumberland, Down Township, Rosenhain, Ghoultown, Laurel Lake, along with New Jersey State Forest Fire Service, New Jersey State OEM, Office of Emergency Management, Inspira EMS Squad, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Units, Battalion Chief and County Fire Marshal from the City of Vineland, Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office, and Cumberland County and Cape May County Prosecutor's Office. Thank you, everybody. That'll be all, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Hewitt. Commissioner Sui.
Yeah, again, first on my mind is the tragic loss of life at the fire on 4th Street. My thoughts and prayers are with those that lost loved ones. I can't imagine the pain and suffering of losing 2 children, and there really are no words to suffice. My thoughts and prayers also go out to those that lost their home and belongings. It's truly tragic. And the tragedy has brought out the best of many of our citizens in Millville and beyond. I want to thank everyone who has rallied to support the victims of this tragedy. The work of our first responders and city personnel working together, again, as Mr. Hewitt said, fire, EMS, police, streets, roads, parks, public property, engineering. I saw personnel from nearly every department at the scene. Inside City Hall, folks were also working later on to find shelter for displaced residents. I know there are some firefighters that suffered injuries during this incident, and I pray for their speedy recovery. The psychological impact of an event on everyone such as this can't be understated. As I said, our community came together. Many organizations and individuals came together to aid these families in their time of need and continue to do so. Sammy, who was in the 5th grade, and Valerie in the 7th grade at Bishop Shad. So their school was taking donations for the family. Anyone wishing to donate can contact the school or drop off items at the school. Additionally, many donated time and money, belongings and gifts. Local businesses and nonprofits, including the Phenom Factory, Christie's Funeral Home, Betty's Way, Volunteers of America, Parabellum Tattoo, Jim's Lunch, Coldwell Banker, Julio's on Main, Crumb's Cafe, Wawa Store 720, Trinity Hope Center, Outlaw Burger, Millville Soccer Association, Raintree Shopping, Cumberland Mall, Brian Page Masonry, Child Family Center, and the teachers and staff at Millville Public School all donated time, materials, effort, etc. So I want to thank those countless volunteers, each and every one of them. If I missed any, I apologize. So, and outside assistance from many other fire departments, as Mr. Hewitt said, he's a better list of that than me. So, with that, progress.
Thank you, Commissioner Hewitt. Sorry, thank you, Commissioner Sui. Commissioner Cossaboon.
I have no words other than the deepest sympathy for those families that lost everything. But I am so very, very proud of our city that has rallied together, our fire departments, our EMS, all the first responders. I watched how hard they worked. And all I can say is I'm proud to be in Millville. And yes, thank you to everyone that has come together and has come together as a family. We are a city, and you have just proven that we are resilient. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cossaboon. Vice Mayor Watson.
Never have been involved in such a tragedy of this scale. It's completely overwhelming. To those that lost their homes and lost their little girls, families, again, we send out our condolences. The statements made by Commissioner Hewitt and Commissioner Sui and Commissioner Cossaboon so far is, the statement it's just a strong statement how strong the community can be to come together in the face of this tragedy. Being there the first day and just seeing how things progress. It doesn't start or it doesn't end just with putting out the fire and To all the departments and the surrounding areas that came to help support this community, thank you so much. That's all I really have to say.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Watson. As my fellow commissioners have just said before me, our biggest condolences go out to those families that have been affected, to those individuals that have lost everything they've worked for, they loved, and those loved ones that were lost. It has put undue stress and tension in the community, but we are moving together through that and working and bonding. All the groups that Commissioner Sui has said, and all the groups that will continue to form and help and donate. There'll be many more coming. We will get through this as a community. I'm once again so sorry for those that lost everything. Ordinances in the second reading, seeing none. Ordinances in the first reading.
Before we
Mr. Mayor,
go
before we get to
further,
that, I think
I
that-
gotta
Sorry, did not see that.
make a motion to receive and file the tax collector's report.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second to receive and file the tax collector's report. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Cospoon?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. Ordinances in the first reading.
We have an ordinance rescinding ordinance number 7-2025 adopted April 15th, 2025 to change the dates of a coin drop for the Millville Police Athletic League to June 7th, 2025 and June 8th, 2025 at the intersections of Buckshootum Road and Cedarville Road.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on ordinance in the first reading, item number 1. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Cospoon?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes. Resolutions.
Resolution item number 1 is a motion to remove resolution appointing and acting municipal clerk as required by NJAC 5:32-5.3 from the table.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
A motion and second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Cospoon?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution appointing and acting municipal clerk as required by NJAC 5:32-5.3.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on the resolution. Any comments?
Yes. So you'll see later on that we are appointing a city clerk. That doesn't take effect for 2 weeks. So if it makes everybody happy, and I said if we didn't have one, I would support it. So we don't have her for 2 more weeks. So therefore, I will support this resolution for the 2 weeks it will be in effect.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner Sui, because I definitely think we do need this. This is just to cover ourselves, making her active, because we don't know what's going to happen. This new person may not come in. We don't know. So, thank you, Commissioner Sui.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Cospoon?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item number 2 is a resolution appointing Emily Dillon, RMC and CMR, to serve as the city clerk for a 3-year term effective April 28th, 2025.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on resolution item number 2. Any comments?
Yeah, I got the opportunity to meet Emily. Very excited to welcome her. It's much needed in her department, and the city needs her. And thank you again, Joanna, for filling in, and you and Robin and Wendy did a great job in the meantime. So
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
yes.
Commissioner Cospoon?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item number 3 is a resolution approving First Amendment to Shared Services Agreement between the County of Cumberland and the City of Millville regarding Code Blue Warming Center for an additional amount of grant funds of $20,000 with a new total amount of now $50,000.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have motion and second on resolution item number 3. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Cospoon?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Resolution item number 4 is a resolution authorizing adjustments to the tax and utility records.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 4. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution number 5 is a resolution awarding a fair and open contract to Multi-Temp Mechanical, Inc. for HVAC maintenance and service contract for sewer utility, water utility, and public properties in the amount not to exceed $90,000 from April 15th, 2025 to April 14th, 2026.
Make a motion on resolution item number 5. With that, I do have certification of availability of funds in the contracted amount of $90,000 signed by our CFO, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 5. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution item number 6 is a resolution amending resolution number 345-2023 to change the address from the suitability of a cannabis facility granted to Happy Cola Brands LLC from Block 526, Lot 5, 328 South 2nd Street to Block 483, Lot 1.05, 210 South Wade Boulevard.
Make a motion?
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 6. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
I would like to abstain.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution number 7 is a resolution of support for suitability of cannabis business with Craft Growers Co-op LLC at Block 260, Lots 1 and 5, 1300 Wheaton Avenue.
Make motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 7. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Abstain.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution item number 8 is a resolution authorizing the submission of a strategic plan for the Millville Municipal Alliance grant to the Governor's Council on Substance Use Disorder for the period covering fiscal year 2026 in the amount of GCSUD for $14,305, cash match $3,576.25, and in-kind amount of $10,728.75.
Make motion, and with that, I have certification of availability of funds in the amount of $3,576.25, signed by our Chief Financial Officer, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 8. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution item number 9 is a resolution authorizing special assessment of municipal liens for certain properties due to expenses incurred by the city of Millville relating to board and secure, plus administrative fees in accordance with Chapter 11, Article 6 of the Municipal Code.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution 10 is a resolution awarding a professional services contract to Clark Caton Hines, I think I pronounced that right, pursuant, Hintz, pursuant to a non-fair and open contract for affordable housing services to comply with the state of New Jersey affordable housing legal requirements in an amount not to exceed of $5,000 from April 15th, 2025 to December 31st, 2025.
Make a motion on resolution item number 10. With that, I do have certification of availability of funds in the contracted amount of $5,000 signed by our CFO, Susan Quinones.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 10. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution item number 11 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a redevelopment agreement and purchase and sale agreement with PD Millville Redeveloper II LLC for property identified as Block 136, proposed lot of 1.04 at 1400 Dividing Creek Road.
Make a motion?
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second on resolution item number 11. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Abstain.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
All right, resolution item number 12 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a redevelopment agreement and purchase and sale agreement with PD Millville Redeveloper II LLC for property identified as Block 124, proposed lot of 16.06 on Buckshootum Road.
Make motion.
Second.
Motion and second on resolution item number 12. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Abstain.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution item number 13 is a resolution authorizing the introduction of the calendar year 2025 municipal budget.
Make motion.
Second motion.
Motion and second on resolution item number 13. Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution 14 is a resolution certifying that the City of Millville's hiring practices comply with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Make motion on resolution item number 14.
Second motion.
We have motion and second on resolution item number 14. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Resolution item number 15 is a resolution approving shared services agreement between the County of Cumberland and the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office and the City of Millville for the provision of public safety services.
Make a motion to table this, as I have not been involved in any discussions personally or in person. I just get second hands on this, and I need to see just how and where, what UEZ funds are being used for this. Make a motion to table.
Second motion.
Motion and second of table. Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Okay.
New business.
We have a motion to authorize the following special events on public lands application pending approvals. We have an off-road timekeeping motorcycle event sponsored by Competition Dirt Riders beginning in Morristown Fire Hall on Sunday, August 24th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to approximately 2 p.m. We have a Hope Day Compassion event sponsored by Millville First Assembly of God Church, Saturday, June 7th, 2025, from 12 to 3 at the lot between Archer, Foundry, Dock, and Arnold Streets. And we have a sunrise service sponsored by First United Methodist Church at Corson Park on April 20th, 2025, from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Make a motion?
Second.
We have motion and second on new business items number 1, 2, and 3. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
No on item 1 and yes on item 2 and 3.
guess I should have separated them.
Why, can you vote on each one separately?
Okay, so we'll do a motion for one first.
Make a motion.
All right. So for the off-road timekeeping motorcycle, we have a motion for Hewitt in a second. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah,
Need a
it'll
second.
take
Wait,
each
wait.
one individually.
So we're going to vote separately. I probably
vote
should have done it
separately,
separately.
Okay. Motion and a second on
Item
number 1 off-road timekeeping event. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
No.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call on
Did we
item
get
number
a-
2, Hope Day Compassion.
Make motion.
Second motion.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun,
Yes.
Commissioner Sui,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Romanek.
Mayor
I'm
Romanek.
sorry, Mayor Romanek.
Yes.
Sorry.
Motion on item number 3, please.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Romanek?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public comment portion. We have now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name, address your concerns, and please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, Patricia Kears. I just have a question as to why public comment was not called on agenda items.
I
I
skipped.
think it was just missed.
Yeah, I just missed it.
So any comments, I guess, are moot at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kear.
Hi, Cindy Cook, Val Lane. First of all, thoughts and prayers are with the families that were devastated by the fire. My program, John 6:12, has been, all the donations we've been receiving of food, either cooked or not cooked, has been being distributed to the victims. Second, today is officially the last day for the season for Code Blue. There will be no more Code Blue, but they are preparing now for Code Red for when it heats up in the summer. Next, I want to mention something about the Levoy Theater. They passed out some information. For those that do not know, this is why I brought this tonight. In 2024 alone, the volunteer hours that people put in at the Levoy was 4,394, which is a pretty impressive number. 1,238 students were working alongside and on stage with arts professional and participating in summer camp since 2012. 1,541 productions have been done since then. Tickets sold, 423,630. Now you figure that that's how many people have come to Millville to see shows. Even more impressive to me is 11,828 children. That's our kids, have participated in the daytime educational and theater program for free or at a reduced price since 2020. These are kids that are learning the arts. Now, why I want to mention that one is if any of you saw Millville High School's production of 42nd Street, you had to have been impressed. You had to have been. First of all, it was really a hard undertaking, and I mean, the kids were worn out. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday alone before the show, those kids were at the high school rehearsing from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 10:30 at night without dinner. This is the dedication, and this is part of what they've learned from the Levoy. Now, when I say you had to be impressed, I want you to be aware that at that show, there were only 4 or 5 dancers. The rest of those kids never had a dance lesson or had very few. So if you saw that show, you had to have been impressed by the performance that our high school put on. And I say kudos to all the kids and to the directors and those that trained them. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Lynn Pareca, Millville. You passed the first resolution on the budget tonight. I'm shocked that nobody said a word about it. No one discussed it. I hope you discussed it at the work session. I couldn't make it to that because that's important to all the citizens in Millville. There's going to be a tax increase again this year. You increase taxes every year. I hope you would consider taking some money from the surplus, because there's enough, and putting it to make a zero tax rate this year. I know you're probably worried about the future, how you will meet expenses. However, you just sold two properties tonight. You have a contract for them. That's over $4 million. You sold the 300 acres out the airport. I believe that was 19 million, I think. So you have a lot of money that can be put to good use to keep on offsetting taxes by giving the citizens the services that they deserve. The other thing was, I'm also shocked that you tabled the shared service with the Sheriff's Department. I'm sure there's some back reason for all of it. There was no discussion. That's what you're supposed to be doing, public safety, making the citizens of Millville safe. That's what would have happened with the shared service with the Sheriff's Department. The police department's sorely understaffed. I know you're trying to build it up, but it takes a lot of time to get the force back with the number of people that it needs to have. And that was the perfect example of the departments working together and using UEZ money and the money so it doesn't affect taxes. It was a win-win. And I hope you can explain why you would table that one. It's really important. It was rushed through the Sheriff's Department. That's going to be a kick in the pants to them. They rushed that through to give that to you guys. And I'm very disappointed. Thank you.
You got that covered.
Hello, my name is Darius Smith, and I'm here to give public comment. Does this go up? I'm here to give public comment on the fires that happened the other night. As you guys might be aware, I've sent an email requesting basically, an explanation for this, acknowledgement that infrastructure failed. I'm also asking for hydrant inspection records and any other city-related inspection records for the past 24 months so that we can see if our tax dollars have been actually being used properly and efficiently to make sure that our city infrastructure is up to date. So if something like this happens again, then we don't have to, worry about the issue of our firemen having to run 800 feet plus or 1,000 feet plus as confirmed by media outlets and multiple, eyewitnesses at the scene to try to get a good source of water that, in my opinion, that may not have been the cause of the fire, but the fact that they had to do that was a huge aggravating factor, and then the fact that the infrastructure failed was the reason that two little girls died. So, like I said, I don't know if you guys haven't just decided to respond to my email or what, but it has all the details in there. If you guys don't respond, then I'm going to just, do an Oprah request and get the forms that way, because my ultimate goal is to, force transparency and accountability. At the end of the day, I'm a property tax paying citizen here, and I need to, make you guys remember that you're accountable to us, not the other way around. So, I want to make sure that my tax dollars are being used wisely. And to what Ms. Pareca said, I also don't agree with tabling a public safety agreement. I think that's very important. If it's not the fire hydrants, it's the crime. If it's not the crime, it's the dirt bikes. If it's not the dirt bikes, it's the substandard inspection and rental standards. So it's not just the fire hydrants. I'm up here because, a lot of this stuff it's a lot of downstream effects from, when you're like lackadaisical in one area, it has a downstream effect on everything else. And that's why I'm up here, is because I want to force, transparency and accountability. If it was up to me, I also want to see a plan to implement maybe like a Doge-style audit, kind of like what Elon Musk is doing with the federal government, so we can see where all of our money is going line by line. Slash spending that doesn't make sense, or if there's wasteful spending and or fraud, to address it and to make sure that our tax dollars are being used, in a best practice case. I even was able to look up that, I don't know if this is true or not, that the city doesn't even use, GAAP accounting principles. And that's, to me, is kind of concerning, because that means you can kind of fudge the numbers to make it look like you're financially sound, and you're not. So, that's another concern as well. But I think I've addressed everything here. like I say, a public acknowledgement of any and all infrastructure failures that contributed to this tragedy, a full release of fire hydrant inspection logs, maintenance records, and testing data for the last 24 months, a clear explanation of how the city currently tracks its infrastructure readiness and how it failed in this case. Like I said, I actually called for a emergency public meeting specifically for that, for the fire, so that way we can have a full Q&A, full breakdown of all of this. So I think I'll yield my time. Thank you.
Rick Cott, Millville. A couple things. I mean, that was very well said. Just about, we come up here all the time about different things that's going on at different times, but then you look back and you realize this every meeting there's something else negative going on: fires, crime, things like that. So, as a city plan and a master plan, I don't know what your goal is. I'm not sure, but we probably should look at whatever that may be to try to fix some of these things. And the master plan, this is just a question. I went on the city website, it said last revised 2012. So it's supposed to be done 10 years.
It was re-examined in 2012. The
And
land
then-
use element was done by the state. They assisted us in 2017, and the planning board is currently in the middle of a re-examination of the entire plan, all the elements, including the housing element.
Because it's supposed to be, what, 10 years? Every 10 years?
10 years, but we're in compliance because we last did the land use element 2017.
Okay. I just saw the 2012. Thank you, bro. City clerk. Wow, you guys did move fast. That was awesome, right? Last meeting, we were talking about, we have no clue we're having one. In 2 weeks, we have one. Did we have multiple candidates? Did we hurry through the process? Was it one and done? I don't know. Like, I'm glad we got one, but like last meeting, we were praying that, Joanna wasn't have to do it for the next 3 months, and that was quick. Good if it works out, but I'm just curious if we had multiple candidates. Who's our economic developer? I don't know. I'm just asking. Urban planner, city planner.
What about
Planners,
We'll
Barbara
answer that.
Fedley.
Rick will answer all questions at the end.
Okay. Yep. And going back to public safety, that's a big deal, right? That's a really big deal that we're losing or postponing that money. Police department's hurting bad, right? They're hurting bad. And that really could have helped. Now, maybe we're tabling it to make sure it's done right, make sure that at least the Millville officers have a chance at some of this overtime. The sheriff's department, whatever we got to do, whatever's going on behind the doors, let's work that out, because it sounds like we just put something on hold that could have been done a lot sooner. So, thank you.
Tall people. Joe Sutherland, Millville Municipal Alliance Program Coordinator. I want to thank you for, again, supporting the Alliance and submitting the plan for next year.
Joe. Can't hear you.
No. Okay. Let's try that. I would also like to say we're going to be working with the ball teams in town to help reimburse them for supplies. You have uniform stuff, and balls, and all that kind of good stuff. And then, just as not as the coordinator, but just as a citizen of Millville, I would definitely like to thank all the people that showed up at the fire to help with that. I can't imagine the pain that all these people are feeling, because all of them lost everything. And so I'd like to thank the firemen and everyone else that showed up there that night and spent the whole night out there, trying to do the best they could. So, thank yous.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, hi, my name is Mike Gola. I moved to Millville 30-some years ago to a house at 5th and Railroad. At that time, that house had a fire hydrant. A few years ago, having been knocked down by a truck, it was never replaced. If the same fire happened on 5th Street, the same results would happen because there's no fire hydrant. And I think that should be replaced. And, well, that's my point. That's all I want to say.
My name's Ian Griffiths. Live in Millville. I'd like to know where the money went for to fix the water mains and lead pipes. I got a list. I live on Whitehall Avenue. Whitehall Avenue, Leonard Drive, and Valatia Avenue. They got more broken water mains on there. There's about 15 or 16 patches where they fixed them. And the fire hydrants, they look like heck where they don't paint them. We used to paint them. Flush them, paint them, and put grease around the caps. I'd like to know what they're going to do with that money they got for the lead pipes and water mains, the transite. That's all I got to say.
Hi everyone, my name is Tamira. This is actually like my first meeting because I'm a new resident here in Millville, but although I have many family in here, and I just want to say my heart goes out to the families that lost their home due to the fire, and my heart really goes out to the family that lost their home, plus lost their 2 children. Not only do they have to rebuild their house and find housing, they had to bury 2 children, 2 loved ones that didn't even get a chance to bloom, didn't even get a chance to prosper in this world. Their life was clipped from them at such a young age. And I know not to question God, and I know not to say why, and I know that there's a purpose. For everything. I'm over the outreach department at my church, so my church is, want to reach out to the families, and I just got the names tonight, and I learned about this meeting tonight, and I do also know because my cousins stay next door to one of the house, and by the grace of God, it didn't go over to her fence. It stopped right there. But I do know that the fire hydrants, that was my biggest concern, is that they had to go down to get fire when that fire hydrant should have been able to be utilized when it's needed. And I know sometimes a lot of people, they do not properly prepare until something like this so tragic happen. But the only thing that I'm asking you guys is to properly prepare, have something just in case the crisis management crisis come up, you have crisis plans in place already, and make sure your city inspectors is going out ahead and expecting these type of things. I also hear stuff, I don't know if y'all got to speak about it before I came in a little late, but I do know a lot of people do stuff in the community for as events and stuff. I think I did hear upcoming events, but a lot of people like to just scratch the surface, just to say they had this many people come out to events, they helped this many families, but are you just scratching the surface, or are you making an impact? Any organization that's going out, are you making an impact? My thing is, I would love for the whole community, for the city to work with different organizations so they can make an impact, not just with troubled teens, not just with victims, not just with parents, but as a family dynamic together to come up with different projects and different things that each family could utilize to become better. So our crime rate could go down in here. Again, I'm new in Millville. I have a lot of family, so I was in and out in Millville like almost every day, and I hear shooting, I hear families just losing, crying twice, and losing their loved ones. I just want the city to work with the families and steady making judgment of how the family dynamic was inside the house. Just talk to them, get a better conversation with the families. I don't know, maybe do a Q&A panel, something like this, because once you learn a person and what they're dealing with, you can make a better impact. That's all I got to say. Thank you for this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Thom, Millville resident, Executive Director of nonprofit Our Future First. So first, I just want to start by expressing our deepest sympathies to the families and the victims of the fires, as well as our gratitude to the first responders who stepped in from all around our area to help put this blaze out. Now, it should be unfathomable to think that lives, especially children, were lost in our city due to a massive fire in Center City. It should also be unfathomable to think that our city can allow fire hydrants to not be in working order in the most densely populated area of our city, which impacts response efficiency. Unfortunately, for those of us who grew up in Center City, Millville, or live in or around Center City, we know it's a sad reality, and none of this is unfathomable. Whether it's landlords, elected officials, and their policies, or improper maintenance and monitoring of taxpayer-funded utilities, this area of town is consistently neglected by those in charge. Everybody in this city knows it happens, but it has become something that is widely known and accepted. Those who live in the area do everything they can to make ends meet in spite of things, while many who do not live there do everything they can to act like the issues don't exist. This level of neglect that may have contributed to children dying and numerous families being without their homes and belongings did not happen recently. It has been a systemic level of neglect that has festered for years over many administrations, not just this current one. It's not a new problem. It's just a problem that those in power actively ignored to focus on other things that they deem more important. A good friend of mine put it best when she said, Millville's like a donut. All the best parts of the donut are on the outside of town, while there isn't anything in the middle of the donut because it is empty. Look at the way services are rendered and distributed around town. The areas on the outside are consistently taken care of, and negligence is more prevalent in Center City. It's systemic and intentional, and the donut effect is real. While the exact cause of the fires are unknown, non-functional fire hydrants near the homes may have increased the time needed to put the fires out, as well as increasing the difficulty for first responders. It's no secret that these responders had to haul fire hoses hundreds of feet away from the fires to find hydrants that worked. They deserve the best resources possible to help them save lives and protect themselves, and this was not the case in this situation. It's fire hydrants now, but what other essential services and safety measures have been neglected in and by the city? How has something like this persisted for so long? How could this have been prevented? Who was responsible? I have no clue what the answers are, but I know our community deserves and demands answers. This needs to be investigated to the fullest extent, and we must ensure that what happened this week does not happen again. So I will ask 4 specific questions of the commission, which I hope to receive responses by the end of this night. Will complete findings of the investigation be made public regarding the fire? How often are fire hydrants tested and inspected in the city of Millville? Is there a public log that shows maintenance, status, and inspection of the fire hydrants? And finally, is there a log that shows what hydrants are damaged, missing, or need repair? Thank you.
Good evening, Tim Carty, Millville. First off, I feel sorry for the loss of everybody involved in the incident, and I really hope the city has crisis counselors on hand or has offered them to the first responders and everybody on that scene, because if not, you failed your first responders and everybody on scene, which I haven't heard of. Now, as some of you are aware, there was a fire by my house back in 2024. I completed an OPA request for, I was requesting all 2023 and 2024 hydrant testing reports on the following streets: Lloyd Terrace, Cedar Brook Avenue, Roselle Drive, Helen Drive, Joanne Drive. Water superintendent responded back, The water utility doesn't have any hydrant test information for the requested area. Thank you. Ex-Chief Lippincott, we have no records for this request. Engineering, we don't have no requests, no records. I followed up. Now I went to different parts of the city. 3rd and Oak to 6th and Oak. My father lives on Oak Street. 4th and Broad to 7th and Broad. Thunderbolt Academy, school. 5th and Broad to 5th and D. That's around the school. 7th and Broad and 7th and E, Rick Avenue. And Pleasant to Rick Avenue and Redwood Drive, Rick Avenue School. 10th and Mulberry to 13th and Mulberry. I have family on that street. 3rd and Cates Boulevard, 3rd and Whitehall, Bacon School. You notice how I went to the high frequency areas, high populated schools. Broad Street and Wade Boulevard to West Main Street and Wade Boulevard, senior high. I'm requesting all hydrant testing information and flow rating reports from 2020 until 2023. Superintendent, Derek Cheeseman. The only ones we had was in 2020 for the high school, the new high school expansion. And that included pressure, residual, static, and the flow, and the gallons permitted. From his department, that was it. Engineering has nothing, and neither did past Chief Lippincott. So I dug further. Maybe I should have kept my foot on the pedal. New Jersey state law. This is where I should have kept going. But I didn't, because I was hoping the open requests were going to fix things. First, I'm going to start with that the water proprietor complies with all federal, state drinking water regulations, including water quality sampling, testing, and reporting requirements. The hydrant and valve requirements set forth in Section 3 of PL 2017 C-133. The water provider shall post an annual certification requirement pursuant to this section on the internet website if acceptable. I can't find it on the city internet website, state law. Assessment plan report. Every water proprietor shall implement and assess management plan designed to inspect, maintain, repair, and renew its infrastructure consistent with the standards established by the American Water Works Association. I'm skipping around. As assets management plans and systems conditions report shall be certified by a licensed operator. The assessment management plan prepared pursuant to this section, also state law. Now, a comprehensive inventory, mapping and evaluating the condition of the public community water system following asset classes: transmission and distribution piping, valves, service lines, hydrants, water treatment plant facilities, and water supply facilities, including wells, reservoirs, and intakes. It's right there, another state law. Inspections and testing by the water proprietor. Cleaning the area around the valve to ensure full access and valve for operating purposes of the hydrant. Cleaning out the valve box. Dynamic testing of the valve by opening and then closing the valve for either of the following number of turns. A number of turns recommended by the valve manufacturer to constitute a charitable test. A number of turns which constitutes 15% of the total number of turns necessary. Complying with other criteria required by the department pursues the laws and regulations adopted pursuant to the administrative procedure. Each water proprietor, once a year, tests every fire hydrant in its system in order to determine the condition. Flushing every fire hydrant in the public community water system and even dead end of the main in the public system. This plan of flushing may be combined with a periodic testing of hydrants required pursuant to the paragraph. Each water proprietor must keep a record of all inspections, tests, flushings conducted pursuant to this section for a period of at least 12 years. No records are found from 2020 for them certain areas to 2014. No records. The fire hydrant shall be marked, each hydrant with the initials of its name, abbreviation of its name, corporate symbol, or other distinguishing marker code by which ownership may be readily and definitely obtained. Each fire hydrant shall be marked with a number or symbol on both, by which the location of the hydrant may be determined on the water proprietor's official records. And it goes into how the marking should be made. Whenever the water proprietor is issued pursuant to 10 of PL 977, another state law, 3 notices of violation for any reason or 2 notices of violation related to the exceedance of a maximum containment level within the 12-month period, the water proprietor within 60 days after receipt of the 3rd and 2nd notice shall submit the department migration plan. I don't know if that was done. On November 8th, 2021, Governor Phil Murphy signed into law the PL 2021, previously known as S746, Water Act. And that included test all hydrants annually, no change, hydrants tested annually. Maintain records for inspections, tests, and flushing for at least 6 years. That got changed to 12 years. Hydrants shall be marked with paint, brand, just like it says, or soft metal. Now, NFPA. I don't know if the city adopts NFPA on fire hydrants. I have that one right here. They should be pressure tested with the correct color caps on the top and on each outlet. That way the fire department knows exactly what kind of pressure is coming out of that. And if we're doing pressure testing, it would be a lot easy if the GPS coordinates were entered and the amount of pressure coming out of that hydrant so it could be put in a CAD system in Cumberland County Communication Center. That way, when that truck's responding to a fire, they can notify the fire department or the officer on the hydrant location and what the PSI coming out of that hydrant is. This is not old technology, this is modern technology. And it's used every day by departments across the country. As far as the Oprah requests go, I would hope that this is a learning experience. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate learning experience. It's too late to be proactive. It's time to be reactive. And I believe that the water department should be out there. I know they were flushing hydrants today. My question is, were they doing the pressure testing, GPS locations, and so on? Thank you.
Seeing no one else, I will close the public comment portion of this meeting. Comments of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt.
Yes, if you will. I'm sorry, in this situation, I am looking at my phone. I just got a message that I would like to put out to the residents. This does pertain specifically to the fire area. It's happening. It's not happening tonight because it's so windy. We understand this is a difficult time for the community. In an effort to keep the community safe, if you add remembrance candles to the memorial on South 4th Street, we, the fire department, public safety, and residents, are requesting that you not put burning candles next to the teddy bears, flowers, or anything combustible. This is to prevent anything from happening to the memorial. This has been happening, so please be a little bit careful, folks, if you would. Now I'm going to answer just a few of the questions. I'm going to answer one that I caused, which is 3 of you's asked, 4 of you's asked. The shared service with the Sheriff's Department. I need to be involved in the discussions. I need to make sure we are doing this right. I had some phone calls today along with other numerous calls, and that is why I did this. I am not in any way even alluding to the fact that this is stopping. We are using UEZ funds for this, and we must use the right category of funds. I can just about absolutely assure you that this will be back on the agenda at the next meeting, and it will be passed. There is not much more that I can say or this commission can say at this time. This fire is still under investigation. It's going to be under investigation. If you were here earlier when I gave my opening comments, I read all of the authorities that are involved in this. That's all I can say about that. A couple of you have brought up grief counseling and such. My departments are public safety. They don't show their grief and their hurt after they come off of a shift. They don't show their grief and their hurt after coming away from a fire. But they show their grief and their hurt after coming from this fire. My guys all around public safety and employees of this city, the water department, parks and rec, streets and roads, everybody's hurting. People look at us like we don't do anything. And I'm not looking for anybody to give me kudos. I responded to that fire 13 minutes after it went off from my house. I got there after parking on East Main Street and walking to the end of it. Those of you that know where it is, it's a walk, because I didn't want my truck anywhere in the way, because I already heard all of the help companies responding and on their way. I stayed there, and the commissioners came out there. I was calling them and waking them up at 2 o'clock in the morning. They all came out. They didn't all stay all the time. We're not heartless people up here. We have to follow the law. And unfortunately, I, even as public safety director, cannot sidestep that law. City employees, utility employees, water department, streets and roads, parks and rec that brought the fencing out to secure that property. Everybody was involved. Everybody. I read off the list of federal and state people that are involved in this investigation. When we can release, we will release information.
All of it?
We will release what we can. And that's all the questions I'm taking questions are with. My police department doesn't show their anxieties, but yes, they do now. I didn't leave that fire scene until 9:30 the next night. My fire department is hurting. Yeah, guys, I know you're hurting. They have grief counseling, but you know what? It's going to take a lot of counseling for the guys that were there. It's going to take a lot of counseling for the residents that lost their homes, and especially for the mom and dad that lost their daughters. You want to say something? No. I'm just looking around. I'm not targeting anybody. I have a city email address. I have a city phone number. I am in this city sometimes 7 days a week in these buildings. You come to me. I will tell you what I can tell you, but I can tell you right now that this entire city, including everybody in here, is feeling pain and suffering. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Hewitt. Commissioner Sui.
Sure. The citizens of this town deserve the truth. All of it. Not part of it, all of it. So I'm going to address first the shared services agreement. Before this meeting, Commissioner Hewitt said to me and said he didn't want any arguing. So he didn't get any when he made the motion to table it. So at 9:37 a.m., upon discovering that the shared services agreement was not on the agenda, I called Mr. Russell, asked him why. I then talked to Commissioner Hewitt. So yeah, okay, let me talk to Ross, Chief of Police. I called the Chief of Police myself. And he's like, yeah, okay, I wasn't in a hurry, but okay. After giving Mr. Hewitt time to talk, I called Mr. Hewitt again at 9:46 a.m. And he was okay with all this, with every bit of it. I explained to him where the funding was coming from. In between, I talked to Mr. Russell, and Mr. Hewitt told me he talked to Mr. Russell as well. At 4:47 p.m., I had another conversation with Mr. Hewitt. Everything was good. At the last meeting, you saw everybody agree that this was a great idea, and it is. So now we're going to be about 2.5 more weeks without the extra police protection we had. And at 7 p.m., approximately 7 p.m., I watched Mr. Hewitt rip up the certification of funds in a fit of anger. Mr. Hewitt is upset with me. It's no cause for prevarication. In fact, it's ridiculous. Now, I understand you guys kind of vote together. You know, we've seen that. So I get it. You don't like me, whatever. I'm fine with that. But what the hell do you have against the rest of the taxpayers? That's what baffles me. Next, I'll get to the, now the reason we can't discuss too much of the fire hydrant, the water, etc., is because our insurance company's lawyers don't want us to. We know there are going to be lawsuits. No matter what happened, there was going to be lawsuits. But you know why I saw the best in Millville this week? I've also saw some of the worst things I've seen. Most of that being on social media from people that don't know what they're talking about. And that's unfortunate. That's how rumors get spread. That's how maybe the wrong department gets blamed. Maybe there's several things going on that nobody knows about. So what has to happen when this entire investigation is complete, when everything gets tested that should be tested for any purpose, then the results should be released to the public. All of them should be released. I'm sure the lawyers are going to get their hands on everything, obviously. Both sides of the lawyers will get everything in discovery. So I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be released to the public. But I'm going to heed that advice for now. What else? So the budget. So I looked at the budget, and as you said, there's a 2% tax increase. There's an additional fund balance of $3.9 million. There is more economic development coming online. There were a $19 million increase in ratables. I believe much of that was marketing. You saw my fellow compadres vote against that before. I don't think everybody up here, let me say it this way, delved into the budget as much as they should. The problem's going to be, as you mentioned, Mrs. Parecka, is that contracts are going to take a big chunk out of that. You saw a sale of $6 million for 15th Street. The previous fund balance was between $500,000 and $600,000. Now it's 3.9, indicating that about $700,000 of that money was used to fill gaps in the budget. And that gap will be bigger next year, as the increase will be all year. There will be more police officers. All that will come into play. So that's how that ties into the budget. That's why economic development is important. I'm glad that we approved those projects this evening. I'm hoping my fellow commissioners understand that. And again, I really believe it is very important to tell the public the truth. It's the only way that you're going to have confidence in government. I take a lot of heat for telling the truth. People get mad at me all the time. Sometimes they don't want to hear it, but you actually deserve it. Progress.
Thank you, Commissioner Sui. Commissioner Cosboon.
Nothing at this time, nothing.
Vice Mayor Watson.
Touch base on the clerk interviews. We did have a couple candidates that came in, interviewed both of them. There are circumstances that played a role in our decision, and I think that with Emily coming on board, that was the best decision. She interviewed very well. She had all the credentials that she needed, and I think she's going to be a big key to success, taking this role. For the tax increase, it's kind of tough to make comments on things you're currently learning. But from what I'm grasping and what I'm trying to put together is, if we want to have, the infrastructure, if we want to support the infrastructure, and we want to have police officers, and we want to have competitive wages to, for city employees to work here, if we want to have all the services that we have, from trash, sewer, water supply, public safety, all of it, it costs money. The sale of a couple properties isn't going to sustain a budget, but, unfortunately, tax increases and increased ratables will. That could be depended on. In this situation, I feel as it's necessary to, move forward with a tax increase at this time, but after further evaluation, it can be amended come time to adoption. As you know, at this time, we're kind of limited on the statements that we can make. We all would like to give residents answers, and we all would really like to support the departments that are taking a lot of scrutiny over this. And I wish I could say more, especially to back the fire department and especially to back the water department in this situation. Unfortunately, I can't, and I apologize to those. And I hope that those that are making these comments on Facebook and saying these bad things about our departments that work hard, and when the truth really comes out about all the hard work that each department does, that the residents that posted these things on Facebook put in as much effort to apologizing to the departments that they're making comments about. That's all I have.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Watson. Rick, the planning board is in master review right now, and there will be a dedicated planning board meeting on May 12th at 6:30 of just master plan review. There's an emergency meeting on May 5th for all planning board agenda previous items. Zoning board will also take place on May 1st. Vice Mayor Watson and Commissioner Sui said it best. We have been advised by council not to speak on matters such tense that proceeded days ago in the city. Vice Mayor Watson said it right with it. I'm just a loss for words for those that lost their lives. Motion for adjournment.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.